Welcome to iLecture Online. We've now been talking about the harmonic oscillator, or specifically the quantum mechanic harmonic oscillator, realizing then that each atom within the oscillator acts like a quantum mechanic oscillator, so therefore it will oscillate at a particular frequency only. And any energy gained by absorbing a photon simply results in a larger amplitude of the oscillation, not an increase in the frequency of the oscillation. But then why does a solid not behave like a quantum mechanic oscillator? The radiation from a solid is not according to a specific frequency of the vibration of the oscillator. The radiation coming from a solid is really a function of its temperature, using the Wien's displacement law to determine what that is. For example, the predominant wavelength from an object at a particular temperature can be defined by a constant 0.0029 meter times Kelvin divided by the temperature of the object. So if we then take, for example, the oscillator we've been using so far with a typical spring constant of 2000 newtons per meter, let's say one of the atoms in the solid has a mass of 30 atomic mass units and the spring constant of 2000 newtons per meter. If we then find the angular frequency of oscillation, again we get 2 times 10 to the 14th per second, which is 200 trillion per second, and the associated wavelength of the photon that would be emitted by jumping down to the next quantum state, or by absorbing a photon by jumping to the next quantum state, that wavelength of that photon would be about 9,400 nanometers, about 9 micrometers or so. And if we take that wavelength and we plug it into the Wien's displacement law and we calculate that for the temperature, we get a temperature of 307 Kelvin, which is 34 degrees centigrade. So assuming that we're receiving that kind of radiation from a solid, we would then conclude from the Wien's displacement law that the temperature of the solid would be 307 Kelvin. But here comes the problem. What if we increase the temperature of the solid? Does that result in a higher frequency oscillation? And with a quantum oscillator, that would not be the case. The case would be that no, the frequency would stay the same because it's only dependent upon the spring constant and the mass. So here's the problem. It doesn't behave like that. In other words, the atoms within a solid do not behave like a quantum mechanic oscillator that has quantum states that determine the energy of the oscillators, the individual atoms, and it only depends on the mass and the spring constant. So the omega, the angular frequency, should be fixed for a quantum oscillator, and we now know that it's not fixed because if we take a look at the black body radiation curves of the emission of a solid like that at various temperatures, if the temperature goes up to 6,000 or 4,000 or 2,000, we can see that the wavelengths, the predominant wavelengths coming from those, are very different from the wavelengths we would be getting from an oscillator if it was purely a quantum mechanic oscillator. So you can see that the wavelengths are very different. In addition to that, there's a wide spread of wavelengths that we get at any particular temperature, which would indicate that the atoms within a solid not only vibrate differently than the omega that we would expect to find if we think of it as a quantum mechanic oscillator, you can also see that there's a wide spread of frequencies. How does that happen? Well, let's take a look at those frequencies first. So if we then realize that the wavelength is equal to 0.0029 divided by the temperature, and we know that for a photon, the frequency times the wavelength equals the speed of light, we can then say that the frequency of the oscillations that would then produce a certain wavelength would be equal to c times t divided by 0.0029. So if we take a look at the radiation curve of an object at 6,000 Kelvin, of course at that point it's no longer solid, it then would be a very hot gas or plasma, but again we can see that the radiation curves hold true for lower and lower temperatures where it would be a solid as well, but I just want to come up with some higher temperatures here. Then you can see that the wavelengths of an emission of such an object would the wavelengths would be anywhere from 100 nanometers to 2000 nanometers and above. Well, when we take a look at that, at 100 nanometers, the frequency is 3 times 10 to the 15th per second, and at 2000 nanometers, the frequency is 1.5 times 10 to the 14th per second. So, very different from the frequencies that we see over here. Well, at the lower wavelengths, they're kind of similar, 2 times 10 to the 14, that's of course omega. The frequency here would be much lower, would be about 32 trillion oscillations per second versus 150 trillion, and here we would be at 3,000 trillion per second, or yeah, 3,000 trillion per second. So you can see the frequencies are quite different from what you expect. The answer is actually quite simple. It turns out that the atoms inside a solid, of course there's an enormous number of atoms and they're all interconnected with each other due to the intermolecular forces from the bonds. You can see that any sort of movement of one would ripple through a lot of them around them. In other words, anytime these are beginning to vibrate because the thermal energy goes up, the vibrations would be such that they would be banged around in all kinds of different directions, and instead of having a normal oscillatory motion, you would have a very random kind of knocking back and forth, which means that as we heat up a solid object, the frequencies and the behavior of each individual atom no longer acts like a simple oscillator that would be controlled by a simple spring-like force. You can see that it would be affected by everything around it, and because of that you have some atoms that are vibrating at much higher frequencies, some that are vibrating at much lower frequencies, no longer like an oscillator, at least a quantum mechanic type of oscillator, and so you can then expect a whole array of frequency ranges which then give you this black body radiation curve. So on an individual basis, isolated from everything else, and just only considering that there may be two atoms joined together, oscillating like that is a very different kind of scenario than having a solid object that has many times Avogadro's number of atoms within it, all interacting with one another, all rippling through, all these vibrations and energies rippling through, and so that gives you this wide range. And so therefore, the radiation curve of an object is very different from the quantum mechanic radiation curve of a single oscillator at the quantum mechanic states. And that is why a solid does not radiate like an oscillator.